Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident fanalist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. So first of all, apologies for no game day podcast or whatever. We are on a little mini vacation and whatnot, and I tried to do it on the laptop, and it just wasn't working. It was taking so much freaking time. And I didn't have anything on there. I didn't have my notes on there. I'll be honest, I just kind of gave up on it. And I tried to do it so that I could do calls because we're so far behind the calls. So I couldn't do Packernet After Dark, and I couldn't put calls on the last show. So apologies to everybody that called, et cetera, et cetera. So we're clear. It is currently halftime for me. I don't know how the game ends, obviously. And so, partially for that reason, I don't want to overreact. Plenty of reason to overreact. I'll put it that way. But look, let's just revisit exactly what I said. This is a check-in game. This is okay, analytics say this is what you are. Go put it on the field. And from the moment I got home today, which was a little bit late, the first thing that happened, it happened slightly before I got home, but first thing that happened was a fumble, followed by a 3-and-out, followed by just horrific offensive play. There's been some issues on defense. Oh, there's no pad, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, man. You look at the score and everything, I think it's doing okay. I think the biggest issue is, I hate to pin it all on one guy, but I can't help but feel like every time Bullard is on the field, guys just end up getting wide open. Because I think there are occasions where maybe he doesn't exactly know where to stand, and it causes problems. But clearly, my biggest issue right now is with the offense. We have no passing game. Doesn't exist. Jordan has looked terrible for the last 6 quarters, in my opinion. The receivers can't really catch. Not that they've been easy passes, but, we've seen that in the past. There's been times where you lay out and grab a pass and you pluck it from the ground. Like, how did you do that? We're not seeing any of that. There's no heroics here today. There's no, wow, what a great catch. Wow, what a great throw. It's a whole lot of sitting back going, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? We got the last Green Bay Packers possession, and this is the problem. 2-minute drive. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, Jordan, you got what? You get 50 plus some odd $1 million per year, however much you're making this year, however much your signing bonus was, you're making a lot of money. Okay? Go earn your paycheck. Go do it. What happens? We decide to run the ball, and then he runs the ball, right? And everything's looking pretty good. There is no pass game anywhere. The only productive play on a passing game was when Jordan Love ran forward and got some yards. And then we go for it again, and we pick up a first down. No big deal, except for the fact that Wicks can't line up properly. And when stuff like that happens, it's like, okay. So, you just kind of know, right? And look, the Packers are famous for just not showing up for a period of time and then showing up and dominating. So maybe in the second half they dominate. I don't know. But as of right now, this is a team that just didn't show up. They just didn't show up. And so after that penalty, we need to pick up 5 yards, and Jordan decides to airmail it 10 yards over a guy that was double covered. The hell is the point of that? Why did you throw it to him, number one? And number two, how are you so bad at throwing a football? I don't understand. Some of the worst passes I've seen this year have been from Jordan Love ever since he put on that frickin' Toyotathon sweatshirt. I'm just saying, it's time to break that agreement. Send the check back to Toyota, whatever it is they paid you, refund them their money, burn the sweatshirt, and let's move on with our lives. Because Toyotathon right now is dead. But, this was the hope for me this year, is that, whatever the thing was, they rose to the occasion. If it's a bad team, you bludgeon them. If it's a decent team, you win comfortably. If it's a good team like Minnesota, you win, probably in a pretty close game. But the bottom line is, at the very least, you show up. Because the biggest fear is the Packers, by the end of the year, they look really good, right? The metrics are all good and everything's looking good. Everything's great. And then inexplicably, you just don't show up. For whatever reason. Quarterback doesn't show up. The running backs fumbling, the receivers are dropping, stupid penalties, all the pass rush that showed up for the last month and a half, that just disappeared. It's just all gone. Everything's gone inexplicably. Edgerrin Cooper's out there running around making plays like a madman going, what are you guys doing? Like, why aren't you playing with me? Why am I the only one out here making plays? Jordan Love, 7 of 12 for 45 yards. He's on pace for 90 yards in this game. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just freaking unbelievable. The only thing we can do is run. That's kind of working. But I don't know that you can necessarily play a 13-2 team and run every single play and expect to win. Maybe. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm looking at the Packers right now, according to Next Gen Stats here. Got an 18% chance of winning. Why not? To be honest, part of me is just hoping that by coming downstairs and recording the podcast at halftime, essentially waving the white flag and saying I give up, even though it's still kind of a close game, maybe that'll spark something. Get a little superstition going on here. According to Rob Domofsky, by the way, that touchdown that, again, I'm thinking was Bullard's fault. He was single high. I mean, he's the deep responsibility there, I would think. I don't know. But anyways, apparently that was the first completion of 30-plus air yards allowed by the Packers this season, which is pretty... On one hand, you look at that and go, wow, I can't be mad about the only time that's ever happened in a season. On the other hand, it's like, this is the problem, though. This is what you're good at until today you're just not good at it. You know what I mean? So look, am I going to sit here and piss and moan and overreact? I mean, a little bit, but I'm going to try not to. I know the negative fans are going to say whatever they're going to say. I don't care. That's irrelevant. The bottom line is the game doesn't really have any real meaning other than for me to be able to look at it and try to assess what this team is. It has absolutely nothing to do with what would happen next time we see the Minnesota Vikings, if we were to see the Minnesota Vikings again, which is, I guess, relatively unlikely, maybe not. My concern is the playoffs are a question of consistency, and the thing that's had me the most excited about this team has been the consistency, because that's how you win. You are consistent through the playoffs. It's why the Patriots were so good at winning Super Bowls. It's why the Chiefs are so good at winning Super Bowls. It's not necessarily the elite talent, although that helps. It's the consistency. It's the fact that you don't just have these games where it's like, what the heck was that? At least not in the postseason, you don't. Patriots almost never had it, at least past like week 6. The Chiefs, you never know, but once they get into the playoffs, they lock it down. Packers, I mean, again, that was my hope. Like, man, that's the one thing that's different. They got offense, defense, special teams. They're consistent. They got all these things. And then you got an actual big game against a legitimate playoff team. Like, nobody could argue this one isn't a playoff team. If you want to say Seattle isn't or whatever, fine. But this one obviously is. So go show that you can compete with playoff teams. And, again, the negative fans are going to say, oh, see, they can't do it. Of course they can. Of course they can. It's not about can. I mean, listen, if this is how they played every single game, then fine. This is just what they are. But this isn't what they are. This isn't what they have been. And you can't say it's because of the Vikings. What do the Vikings' talent have to do with Wicks not knowing how to line up anymore? What does the Vikings' talent have to do with our players not being able to tackle? By the way, Sam Darnold is under pressure more than just about any quarterback in football, so it's not like, well, they have such a good offensive line, you just can't generate pressure. It's not a talent issue. The lack of being able to generate pressure is not a talent issue. The inability to throw accurately is not a Vikings talent issue. The inability to catch passes that hit you in the hands, even if you got to reach out a little bit, the inability to catch passes that hit you in the hands is not a Vikings talent issue. You're open. The talent has already been superseded. You already beat them. You already won. 66.3 passer rating. They just flashed it on the screen here. So, well, they're about to do the kickoff here. So, we will see. I mean, what we really need to see in the second half here is, and again, I know you guys already know what happened, but I'm going to give you my perspective live, so it's not like just Monday morning quarterbacking here. This team needs to come out hot. Right? Not stumbling, not scared. I mean, this team has little brother syndrome. They go up against a team like this and they cower and they shrivel and they play scared and they play frazzled and they play nervous. Come out and just punch them in the frickin' mouth. And again, I've been largely impressed with the defense, not everything. But I mean, 13 points is not the greatest thing that's ever happened in the universe. By the way, the game's playing on here. I'm not going to react to every play, but we do have live PFF grades, which are subject to change, but not surprisingly, Edgerrin Cooper playing out of his mind. He's got almost a 90 PFF grade so far through that first half, up there with Devontae Wyatt, 88.5 for Edgerrin Cooper, 88.7 for Devontae Wyatt. We'll see how that goes. A lot of really bad grades, though. Rashawn Gary having a terrible game, not surprisingly. Bullard, terrible, not surprisingly. First down given up, not surprisingly. I mean, if we just look at the pass rushers, who are we trying to get home here? Lucas Van Ness got about a 70 grade, but no pressures, although only 7 pass rush attempts, which is not great. Who has about Kenny Clark, 15 pass rush attempts, has 1 pressure. He's not grading out very well. Brenton Cox has 10 attempts, which is more than Lucas Van Ness. He's got 2 pressures, which is actually just fine. Colby Wooden has 9 with 0, and Rashawn Gary has 1 pressure on just 14 attempts here. Again, that's for the half, but, I mean, it's not all bad. I mean, Van Ness, McKinney, Brooks, Cooper, and Wyatt are playing well, but, I mean, we just got to get, biggest thing on defense is pass rush. And again, if you take away the blown coverages, the defense is not playing terribly. I'm not saying everything is a blown coverage, and you got to remember they have a very good play caller on their side, so they're occasionally going to get guys open, and Sam Darnold is playing like a top quarterback. If somebody's open, he's going to find him, he's going to throw an accurate pass, which, you know, I guess must be nice. Hey, there's a nice tackle by Bullard. Nice job. 3rd down. Halftime for the offense, by the way, while we wait to see the result of this, 3rd and 7. Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker playing well. Sean Ryan, Ben Sims are doing okay. Everybody else is 60 or below, with Jaden Reed, Jordan Love, Josh Myers, Romeo Dobbs, Josh Jacobs at the bottom. You want to know why the offense isn't working? I got a hint for you. My Lord, wide open. Just, you know, the Packers, they just play this zone. That's just, you know, this whole like tight man coverage thing. They play a lot of zone, and they're able to exploit it. I mean, these are giant holes that are not super hard to find, you know. And the problem with this, again, comes down to pass rush. Like I said, you make more space when you stretch. Oh, Devontae Wyatt being evaluated for a concussion, wonderful. After I just said he's one of the only guys stepping up, that's fantastic. But the ability to stretch the ball down the field and stretch out the defense it's a function of time. Yeah, and then when the pressure does get there, they give up space underneath. I don't know if it's just a situation of them zigging when we zag, or we just don't know what the hell we're doing. But, you know, it's like, okay, pressure's finally there, so they're not going to be able to get behind us. He dumps it off for 6 yards. Like, guys, you can't not cover deep and not cover shallow. I don't know what it is you're covering, but it's not the right areas ever. Yep, and they just march down the field. So, like I said, you got to come out and hit them right in the mouth, and instead it's just, you know, and it's just good play calling by the, you know, we get people home, ball comes out quick. We don't get people home, they hit somebody deep. We bring pressure, they throw a screen. It's just getting worked, man. And I can see frickin' Twitter telling me that there's a touchdown here. It's just a dime. I mean, it's just a perfect he's under pressure. He steps up and throws as he's stepping up into the pocket, and it's like a handoff. You know, again, I know everyone wants to be pissed about the defense needs to be better. There was pressure, so you got your pressure. The coverage wasn't terrible. It was just a perfect throw. I mean, Sam Darnold is just playing really good football. I mean, I can't get Jordan Love to throw that accurate of a pass when it's 10 yards shorter and there's no pressure. 20 unanswered points. So, I mean, at this point, you know, the Packers just don't have answers on defense, and they don't have talent on offense. The offensive players are not stepping up and executing. And if I hear even one of you frickin' people talk about Matt LaFleur, other than not having the team prepared, which I understand, if you're talking about the offensive play calling, I'm just going to beat the living dog crap out of you because you're stupid. You got the running back fumbling. You got the offensive line not blocking. You got Jordan that can't complete a forward pass to save his frickin' life. You got receivers that can't catch. What? Don't even start with me. So we are officially in blowout territory if this doesn't slow down. I mean, this is going to be, it's getting ugly. I mean, it's 20-3, and it's basically we got an entire half in front of us. So if the Packers don't come away with 7 here, I think that's just what's going to happen. So I'm glad I started the podcast because there's nothing worse, as I've said before, than watching a beating and then having to come down here and record it. At the very least, by the time this game is done, I'm walking the heck out of here and going to do something else. So with that horribly unfortunate series of events. Why don't we take our first break? We'll come back and endure more of this bullcrap. Then the Packers come out and do what? Well, we halfway through the game, we got to try to get our quarterback in a rhythm, throw a screen pass down at a guy's shins, can't even complete a screen pass accurately. Then we have 12 men in the huddle, and so we have to go backwards. We run the ball, can't do that, get almost no yards, and then go to try to run a pass play. Got a few seconds clean in the pocket. Finally, pressure gets through. He scrambles, tries to make a throw. Looks like it could have been completed. Reed couldn't make the catch. It's just how it's going, man. I mean, it's just what else is there to say? I don't know. Just wondering, is it going to change? Because if it does, it has to change immediately, and it just doesn't. I mean, they come out, run down the field, get a touchdown. We can't even get a freaking first down. It's like we got worse. And again, you can say that they're just a better team if you want. Fine, yeah, that's why we had 12 men in the huddle, right? Yeah, that's what it's a talent thing. Minnesota's so good, they got us to put 12 guys in the huddle. Okay, and there's a pick. I was just going to say, we finally got a little pressure up there. Oh, my Lord, he fumbled it. We can't even get a pick. We got it back, but we can't even freaking get a pick. Devontae Wyatt and Zane Anderson have been ruled out. Can't even get a pick without fumbling it. So, but hey, Valentine, 2 picks in 2 games, man. And I don't know who's been giving up what in these games, but I haven't seen Valentine give up jack squat. And again, I don't think it's the corners. I haven't seen Stokes or Valentine give up a damn thing. Not one. It's the linebackers and safeties all game. I mean, let me look here. And I swear, if you don't get 7 out of this offense, I'm whatever. I don't care. Valentine's a good player, so I guess I'll take that. We got Edgerrin Cooper and freaking Valentine, and that's what we can be happy about. And Devontae Wyatt, who's no longer in the game because he's out with a freaking concussion. Got to make sure to not look at Twitter because I don't want to know what happens. Got to give it to Jacobs. It's the only thing working. Gets about 3-4. That's pretty much probably all you're going to get the rest of the day here. So, yeah, so they're saying Keyshawn has been targeted 7 times, gave up 4 receptions, but 35 yards, I guess, is kind of a lot. Bullard has given up 60 yards. So, freaking again. Cooper's given up 20. McKinney, 40. Valentine, they're saying 3 for 28, and then linebacker Wilson, 47. So, yeah, Stokes hasn't given up a freaking thing. 3 yards. There you go, Dobbs. There you go. So, Stokes has given up 3. Valentine supposedly has given up 3 for 28. So, 30 yards, 30 yards for our corners, and we've given up 239 yards in this game. I mean, Keyshawn is obviously a corner, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to dog Keyshawn, but I just feel like, Keyshawn's Keyshawn. It is what it is. Up the gut, what's he get? Another 3. That's what you're going to get all day, I think. You might get a little bit more on a play or a little bit less on a play, but I think we're to that point now where unless we can start attacking through the air, we're not getting any more than that. There goes Jacobs for a tutty. All right, I got to go upstairs, give my son a high five here. Well, unfortunately, again, no answers on defense right now. I thought, they were playing a lot better before, and now I just think that they've got us completely pegged. The pass rush, again, is non-existent right now. And Darnold continues to throw just absolute strikes. Keyshawn Nixon, as much as I'd love to make fun of the guy, I mean, I don't know how much better you can do in coverage. He just worked his way back to the ball and, caught the ball out away from his body and hauled it in. Not a ton you can do. I mean, when you got your hands in there and you're fighting to kick the ball out and you just can't quite get it, it's just friggin' is what it is. Here goes Aaron Jones. He's about going to get a touchdown here. So, again, I mean, you hope that would light kind of a spark under your team. You get a pick, you go down, you get a touchdown. Like, all right, defense, let's step it up here a little bit. And they just cut right through our defense here. That was a really bad effort there by Valentine trying to get him off the edge. I mean, it's just he's right there for the taking. You just freaking swing and miss. So I don't know what to tell you. But fortunately, we still have Edgerrin Cooper on this team. There's a 2-yard loss. I mean, that is like the only thing that's working for us right now is Edgerrin Cooper, man. I don't know. I mean, who else? I mean, Valentine, I guess you got to be excited about, although that dog crap attempt at a tackle on Aaron Jones there at the end. But Yeah, I don't. If I were to give a game ball to anybody aside from Edgerrin Cooper, I don't know, man. Can't even do Josh Jacobs because he had a fumble. You know, certainly not any of the receivers. It's not the quarterback. And touchdown. There they go. So there it goes. You know, again, that was your spark right there, man. I mean, again, it's not to say you can't do something, but even at this point, if the offense does get on a roll, all you're going to do is try to get that 7 back, and then you got to get another stop, and then you got to get 7, then you got to get a stop. You know, it's just we're not able to get the stops right now. So, and you can't even be necessarily mad at the pass rush because every time they get it, the ball comes out quick. I mean, they're just. I just had the kid come downstairs and just say, "Well, I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl." Which, you know, again, you can call that overreacting or whatever. But, you know, I mean, look, they have not demonstrated that they can be that team that just shows up. And so the question becomes, is this team going to beat the Rams? I'd say higher than 50%. Okay. Then are they going to beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota? And then are they going to beat Detroit in Detroit? I'm not saying impossible. I'm not saying they don't have the talent. That's not the point. Really what we need, it wasn't even necessarily about win or lose. It had more to do with don't implode. Don't just not show up. Don't forget how to play football. Don't get embarrassed. Don't get steamrolled. Don't make stupid penalties. Don't have drops. Don't let the inaccuracies come back. Don't start missing tackles. Don't start blowing coverages. Don't lose the pass rush. We're just going to continue running the ball. I mean, we're down by 1 million, but it's all we can do is run, so you might as well, I guess. That was the most important thing. That's why, with the Lions game, was I massively upset? No, I wasn't. He dropped it. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Dobbs with, I think, his second drop of the day. I don't know. Guy fell down. It was like, oh, that was an incredible catch. He fell down, still caught it, and just inexplicably just bounces out of his hands after he caught it. Anyways, again, don't let the drops come back, all that stuff. There's been at least 2 drops, if not 3. I mean, again, none of these are easy passes. Jordan could do a hell of a lot better getting the ball to them accurately instead of making everybody dive for every single frickin' pass. But, just the ability to catch anything that isn't placed right in their arms is just 0 right now. So, again, anyways, this is just all I didn't want to see. And everybody has bad days, whatever, fine, but when you know the Packers' history of having these types of games in the postseason, that's what makes it hard to watch. It has nothing to do with anything on the season. It doesn't matter. The Packers are going to the playoffs, and the Packers are going to have a phenomenal record. They're at least going to be an 11-win football team, which is great. They're probably going to be a 12-win team, and they're going to the playoffs. That's great, and I'm not upset about that. I'm just worried. That's it. And if you're not, I'm not mad at you. If your thing is good, get it out of your system so you don't do that in the playoffs. Whatever your thing is, if you want to be optimistic about it, fine. But we've all just seen this too many times, and it's like they're a really good team. How are they going to do in a playoff game? It's like, well, here's a playoff practice game, and we watch exactly what we've seen last year against the 49ers, the year before that against freaking 5 years of 49ers in Tampa Bay just imploding. Inexplicably just being like, I forgot how to play. And it looks a lot like this. And, whatever. So all the flowers, all the excitement, all the Packers are a really hot team, all that's out the window. All the look at Jordan Love Toyota-thon, that's gone. All the Packers defense is white hot, that's dead. Nobody's talking about the Packers anymore. Nobody cares about the Packers. Packers are not going anywhere in the postseason according to anybody else. Nobody's interested. As far as everybody's concerned, the Packers don't belong in the conversation. They barely belong in the playoffs. That's just the reality of the situation right now. And maybe they're right. I don't know. But it is what it is. Assuming there isn't some massive comeback right here, they are driving. That would put them within, 10 if they do that. Certainly not impossible, but I'm just going to speak as though it's officially done based on what I've watched for 3 straight freaking quarters. This is the situation we're in. We're going to be getting mocked and ridiculed by the national media, Bears fans, Lions fans, Vikings fans, everybody, and there's nothing we can say back except to Bears fans. They can freaking stuff it because they're pathetic. Because again, I can sit here all week and tell you all the sweet nothings about how good this is or how great that is, but it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Listen, there's 2 components. There's having the talent to be good enough to be able to win. They had that a long time ago. Again, we just run the ball. Okay, I guess we got lots of time. No urgency, no big deal. It's fine. Just freaking giving up, I guess. First down, but a flag. Illegal formation, Zach Tom. This is unbelievable. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, it's because Minnesota's just so much better than us. That's why we can't line up. Anyways, bottom line, there is talent which they have enough of, right? There's a threshold. Certain teams are above the threshold. They're good enough technically. Oh my lord, what was that? Just not picking up blitzes anymore, I guess. I mean, not now we can't block. Jordan evades one guy coming at him, steps up and immediately gets hit by somebody else. So he got sacked like 3 times on that play. He did get the ball away, but the other thing, I'm going to let this damn play go out so I can finish my thought. And sacked. Oh, man. The other thing is consistency. Nobody is the exact same thing every single time. There's a range. There's a question of how good are you and how often are you that good? And then how bad can you be and how often are you that bad? And again, part of the reason with these frickin' sacks is we not every play needs to be a frickin' home run ball. If you need 5 or 6 yards, get 5 or 6 yards. You don't need a damn 20-yard pass. I understand that a guy is getting wide open down there, but you have underneath throws. Whatever. It's fine. Doesn't matter. And right now, again, don't give a crap what other people think. The team has the talent to be able to be good enough. They don't have the consistent. The Lions are very consistent right now. The Vikings are very consistent right now. The Buffalo Bills, I'm just going to throw out some other names. I could be wrong about some of them, but bottom line is a lot of teams right now are just doing what they need to do. They're consistently doing what they need to do to compete, and Packers kind of look like the odd man out here because you can be better, marginally better than the Vikings and the Lions, like on a perfect day. But if one team is 75%, the other team is 70%, just making up random metrics for how good a team is. But one team is like 100% consistent and the other one is 75% consistent. Give me the 100% consistent team that's not quite as good. And I don't need to tell you this. You know, we've been talking about this crap for years, and whether it's Matt LaFleur's fault for not getting the team ready, whatever it is. And again, that's not going to get fixed. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't know why stuff like this happens. I don't know if it's a culture thing. I mean, it's hard to say it's necessarily a coaching thing because guys in middle school know how to line up properly. So it's not necessarily coaching. It's got to be some kind of a cultural thing. I don't know if there's just a lack of effort. I don't know if it's fear and anxiety and stress that they have too much of as opposed to coming in with just violent aggression and confidence and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But whatever it is, we just don't seem to have that thing. Once again, Edgerrin Cooper making a play. I swear, it's the only thing I enjoy about this game is Edgerrin Cooper. Yeah, there goes a 40-yard pass to Justin Jefferson there. So this game's over, boys. I don't know. Packers do have a 1% chance according to Next Gen Stats, so that's fantastic. And again, Sam Darnold is, I mean, he reminds me of Tom Brady. He's not doing anything. He's just finding just very casually up, moving around in the pocket, just ever so slightly to evade whatever pressure happens to be there and throwing just pinpoint perfect passes. Every single pass is perfect. And Javon Bullard needs to be freaking just cut him. I cannot stay. Why do we keep putting him in there? I know we're short on players, but he is like Quay Walker to me. It's like, well, we got to put him in. No, you don't. He is literally the definition of addition by subtraction. Every time I see him, it just pisses me off. But, I mean, that's what this is. I mean, the Vikings showed up. I mean, they're playing unbelievable football. Their offensive line is perfectly dialed in. Their receivers have not made a single mistake. Their route running is impeccable. They're catching everything, which isn't hard to do because their quarterback is putting the ball exactly where it needs to be on every single pass. The play calling is perfection. They're playing like a team that had no intimidation whatsoever. They're just showing up. They're playing their brand of football, and they're playing the best version of their brand of football, and they're just coasting right through. And we could try to blame injuries if we want, but I think that's stupid. First of all, a lot of these injured players haven't been here the entire time, and to act like Christian Watson would have been the linchpin in this game, I know there was all that talk about, well, the way you beat them is you throw deep. Bull crap. You're going to abandon your entire way of playing offense and just take deep shots, which Jordan Love has not been good at this entire second half of the season because that's what Minnesota supposedly is not super good at? Have you noticed how Jordan Love is under pressure kind of a lot? That wouldn't work in this game. Beyond that, screw that. If you can't win playing your brand of football because you got to play scared, then you're not a Super Bowl caliber team. Impose your will. I'm not saying it wouldn't have helped, but that has nothing to do with the blocking. That has nothing to do with Jordan's accuracy. It has nothing to do with the drops. It has nothing to do with the defense just imploding in every which direction. Christian Watson can't fix all those things. Edger and frickin' Cooper, my lord. My lord, dude. Like I just watch him knife through untouched the offensive line, and my immediate thought is, please don't miss a tackle. Like, it's going to be a tough one. Like, it's mano-a-mano in the backfield with the running back. Of course he's not going to miss the frickin' tackle. And missed the interception. Way to go. Who is that? Stokes. Yeah, Stokes doesn't know how to get an interception. Stokes with his first pass breakup since his rookie year, though. So congratulations. All right, why don't we take a break? We will wrap up the last couple plays here. We'll go over these abysmal stats and whatever grades are looking like these days. And then we'll get the heck out of here. That was a bad throw, by the way. His first pretty much bad throw of the day. Take a break. We'll be right back. He missed the field goal. All right, well, we're holding them to under 30 here. Well, a little update, I suppose. Jordan Love has completed 10 passes for 64 yards. I'm pretty sure this is updated, so that just has he not completed a pass? Second half? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get 100 yards in this game, and that feels appropriate. 3.6 yards per attempt, completing just 55.6% of his passes, 63.2 passer rating. Josh Jacobs, 17 attempts, 69 yards, 1 touchdown, 4.1 yards per attempt. Romeo Doubs, 4 of 7 for just 21 yards. Tucker Kraft caught 1 pass for 18 yards. Wicks, 2 of 3 for 14 yards. Jaden Reed, just 1 of 4 for 6 yards. Luke Musgrave caught 1 pass for 4 yards. Bo Melton caught 1 pass for 1 yard. So that's how you get her done, eh, boys? In the meantime, Darnold has completed 30 passes for 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. 79% of his passes have been completed. 120.3 passer rating, 9.2 yards per attempt. So Packers are having probably their worst game of the season. Vikings arguably their best game of the freaking season. Just making it look about as easy as it gets. See if Jordan can crack 100 yards here, eh, boys? Oh, my God. What are we doing? That obviously must have been a miscommunication, but it's like, that was 10 yards away from the receiver, man. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. 2nd and 10. Jordan Love's going to scramble. Well, he had Tucker Kraft open, but decided to take off running, gets no yards. 3rd down. Packers are averaging 4.1 yards on Josh Jacobs' runs. They're averaging 3.4 yards on Jordan Love pass attempts. So that's cool. All right, 3rd and 10. There's a catch. Good catch by Bo. And there's a Josh Jacobs touchdown that's probably going to get called back. One of the best runs I've seen all year. Holding 75 offense. I'm gonna frickin' snap, dude. Sean Ryan. I just this is unbelievable. They fire down the field. They do great. Let's see the penalty here. Sean Ryan. I don't understand. Listen, here I get that that's going to be called a penalty. Here's my concern with calling that a penalty. He's basically pancaking a guy. If he had stayed squared up, that would have been just a great block. But the defender turned, and so he gets tackled from the side and kind of like from behind, so that becomes a penalty. Okay, the offensive lineman's fat behind is falling to the ground. What do you want him to do? Emmanuel Wilson's getting some yards here. We're finally getting a little momentum. Unfortunately, it's probably a little bit too late, especially with the defense being unable to make stops. But Jordan Love had a lot of time there. Fade away, couldn't find anyone, throws it away, 3rd and 6. I'm still pissed about that touchdown. I mean, he ran for 15 yards, pushed through 3 guys, ended up getting a touchdown, but he pancaked the guy from the side, and I guess that's a hold, so there you go. Good throw and catch by Dobbs there, but I think it's going to be a little short, so that'll bring up 4th down. Can't really be mad at Dobbs because he's got to work his way back to the ball to get that catch. So, they gave him a 1st down. Oh, never mind. Hurry up and run a play before they challenge that. Jeez. Wilson for a walk-in touchdown. I mean, at least make it a little bit less embarrassing. I mean, they'll call it garbage time, just basically what happened last time against the Vikings. We were down almost 28-0 by the 4th quarter and came back and put it within 2. I'd be okay with that, by the way. If we can storm back and come within like 3 points, I'll at least feel a little less embarrassed about this horrific performance. By the way, update on the PFF grades up to this point, because they're going to end up shutting them down pretty quick here. We're going for 2. I put it at 18. I don't really understand why we're doing it, but I'm sure there's a reason mathematically here. Jordan can't find anybody. Throws it. Got him, man. Romeo got it. Good job. So that's 18. So that'll make it a 9-point game. Not sure I understand, again, what that does. But seems like if you don't get it, you're kind of screwed. And if you do get it, it doesn't help you a ton. But whatever, man. I guess just get as many points as you can. That was a push-off by Dobbs, by the way. But whatever. You got it. And the Vikings don't even care enough to call a penalty at this point. They're like, screw it. Whatever. I don't care. PFF is behind quite a bit here. But as of right now, the only guy graded positively is Rasheed Walker with a 76. That's it. Jaden Reed is still at the bottom with a 45. Chris Brooks with a 48. Myers 50. Love 53. Jacobs 53. Wicks 55. Bo 55. Tucker 57. Musgrave 57. John Fitzpatrick 59. Malik Heath 59. I mean, how many players is that below a 60? That is 10 of 18. And then you've got Romeo, Sean Ryan, Elton Jenkins, Zach Tom, Ben Sims, Emmanuel Wilson in the 60s, and Rasheed Walker in the 70s, and that's it for the offense. On the defensive side of things, again, they're probably several series behind, but a lot of terrible here. 50 and below, Keyshawn Nixon with a 50, TJ Slayton, who just serves no purpose anymore, with a 48, Brenton Cox, who's been great, with a 44, Rashawn Gary, who's been great, with a 43, Eric Wilson, there was a time when he was doing well. I don't know that it's been super recent, but he's at a 42. Aaron Mosby, who's been at least decent, with a 29. And Javon Bullard, who, as I said, serves no purpose on any team ever, with a 29. There might be a time when he ends up being a great football player. It's not this year. Freaking enough already with that. I don't care what you have to do something else. The average players, Lucas Van Ness, 60, Kenny, 60, Ballantyne, 60, Stokes, 61, McKinney, 64, Valentine, 64, Zane, 65, McDuffie, 67, Brooks, 73, Edgerrin, 84, Wyatt, 89. Again, Wyatt, after 12 plays, went out, so small sample size, but there you go. He had 2 pressures on just 10 attempts, 74 pass rush grade, 66 run defense grade, and then we friggin' lost him, so... 6 minutes left, 18-27 ball game. Great play. Get the ball. Ruling on the field is a fumble. That'll probably get overturned, but let me take a look here. That's real close. That's real freaking close, boys. That ball is... it might be millimeters coming forward, but that is freaking close, boys and girls. Incomplete. All right. Well, I mean, the elbow came for. I don't know at what point you say it's coming forward. The elbow clearly was coming forward. The hand didn't really get a chance to. But anyways, great play by Mosby to get in there and bust that up. Nearly got picked and then was nearly a turnover. It just, you know what? Like at this point, just show me anybody. I'm not talking about the team. The team failed today. Somebody stepped, like Edgerrin Cooper. I couldn't give a crap what the team did. Edgerrin Cooper played as though this was the Super Bowl, and he is fantastic. This is, for me right now, this is individually. What are you showing me? Because a lot of guys didn't show up today. Javon Bullard never plays well, so I don't care as much about that. Why did Rashawn Gary not show up today? What the hell is his problem? You know what I mean? Like, okay, big game. Who's going to show up? Rashawn doesn't show up. That seems problematic. That's one of the top guys we need to show up. He didn't show up, right? Jaden Reed didn't show up. That's a problem. Jordan Love didn't show up. That's a problem. Josh Jacobs didn't show up. That's a problem. Wicks, if you want to call that whatever, that's a problem. These are issues. Oh, my good Lord. Hit as he threw. Ball came out. Flag. What a frickin'... I mean, this is the other thing. Penalty on the offense anyways, but, like, I mean, this is playoff football here, and I hate to keep giving them credit. Lucas Van Ness hits the quarterback. It is still an absolutely perfect throw as he's being hit, and then Justin Jefferson with a one-handed catch with tight coverage. I mean, this is two different things happening. This is the Packers imploding, and the Vikings playing the best football of any team I've seen this year. That is just stupid how good that was. I didn't even hear what the penalty was, but it's 3rd and 15 now. 4th down, 4:43 left. Stokes probably had a chance for a pick, but I don't know, just he mistimed that by about a minute. Stokes is playing pretty good football lately, but his ability to... I mean, he would be the worst receiver in the history of the universe. Let's just put it that way. Penalty on the Packers? You got to be kidding me. Neutral zone infraction by 94. This is the second freaking time somebody lined... And by the way, Edgerrin Cooper, he was not lined up offside, so that's a bullcrap call. I'd love to see this again. But how can you... This is, what, the fourth lined up wrong call? You had Zach Tom, Dontavian Wicks, Edgerrin Cooper, and Carl Brooks. 4 penalties on not lining up correctly. And you had a 12 men in the huddle penalty. Those are 5, like, brain damage type penalties. Jaden Reed, by the way, caught that. Fair caught it. Probably could have got past the 50 if he'd have just not done that, but, you know, whatever. All right, let's see if we can do something here. 1st and 10, 4:37 left. Jordan had, I mean, that was Caleb Williams right there. Jordan Love had 10, 15 seconds behind the line of scrimmage and just took a sack. He could have thrown the ball away. He just took a sack. I mean, I don't know what you're doing today, Jordan. I don't freaking understand. He had lots of time, could have thrown it away, and just curled up in a ball and took a sack. 2nd and 18. I mean, just stupid, man. Quick pass to Wicks, whatever. I just, that's so just freaking sickening, dude. Wake up, man. 3rd and 7, 4 down territory. We call it 2nd and 7 for all intents and purposes. Saw the comment today that this is the most uncomfortable they've seen Jordan Love since his first start against Kansas City. I don't know if that's true, but it's got to be up there. Jordan, again, tons of time. Finds a man, Romeo Doubs across the middle. Well done. Gets a bunch of extra yards. Hurry up to the line. The Packers get to about the 40. Doubs with another big first down, gets out of bounds. Now they're making it look easy, boys and girls. I mean, this is... I don't know. I mean, I can't explain why this is different other than the Vikings have kind of backed off a little bit, but I mean, they clearly didn't back off against Doubs on that big play. So to pretend like this is all garbage time soft zone, I mean, it was man coverage, and he just beat the guy. Oh, Doubs. Was that Doubs or Jordan? That looked like it was right through Doubs' hands, man. That was just past his hands a little bit there. Yeah, it was just a smidge too far there, I think, for Jordan, because he had him. Doubs shaking up. And now the Vikings line up in the neutral zone, so I guess everyone's an idiot. I don't know. I've never seen this happen so many times before. He didn't even move. Yes, that's lined up in the neutral zone. Not saying it was a good call, but that's what the call was. Sometimes these refs just need some frickin' TV time, and it's annoying. Well, it's 3:23. I mean, is the what's his name was saying, try to score before the 2 minutes. I mean, you've moved the ball in about 40 seconds here. 3rd and 1. Hey, he's got Wicks. Wicks tried to stay in bounds, though. He should have just went out of bounds. That's going to cost us some frickin' time trying to get a touchdown. Oh, and they ran it and lost a frickin' yard on it. Matt LaFleur is screaming for them to hurry, which is, hurry up, they got a free play. That's a free play. And I think he got it anyways. Touchdown, Malik Heath. Good Lord, this game. Well, I refuse to believe that we're going to win this game, but keeping it respectable is really all I could ask for at this point. Wait. I don't know how we got down by 2 all of a sudden. Well, that 2-point conversion, I'll tell you the other thing. I mean, obviously this was known, and I still think it was probably not the best decision, but you put yourself in a position where if you can get them off the field with no points, a field goal wins you the game. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of time left. All you have to do is get them off the field with no points. Or even if they get a field goal, a touchdown wins it. Curious what the odds have gone up to. I'm sure it's, what is it, like 30% or something? What are we up to? Give me some good odds here. Don't give me that 2% bull crap. What are the odds? 22. Yes, sir. We went from 1% to 22. Let's go, boys. I'm closing X just completely. I don't want any spoilers. I don't want to see freaking touchdown, interception, nothing. Oh, that was a fake. That faked him out hard. Good Lord. Don't start like that, man. Not a good start. Man, we bit so hard on that. That was a play action rollout to the other direction, and I didn't see a Packer on the freaking screen. Well, 2 minutes. Packers have all their timeouts because, they played that very well. You can't let them score a touchdown, and you have to leave yourself time on the clock. Those are the two things that you got to do. So you got to play some aggressive football here a little bit. It's essentially do or die, right? I mean, there's no point in playing conservative here because you got to get them off the field immediately. So, I mean, play aggressive. You should be blitzing. You should bring an extra guy because letting them nickel and dime you down the field, I mean, all you're going to do is potentially leave yourself with no time, even if you get them without scoring. So this is not bend, don't break territory. We have 2 minutes left. Assuming we need like a minute on the clock, call it 45 seconds. I mean, we have about 1 minute to get them off the field. And that's, with our timeouts and everything, but they get themselves like 2 more first downs and we're kind of screwed. So throw everything you freaking got at them half. If you got some crazy stuff, go ahead and do her. We'll see if we get a little aggressive. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the line. We'll see if everybody comes. Yeah, Rashawn, that a boy. They actually brought 6, and Rashawn got him behind the line, so that's what I like to see. 2nd and 11, minute 57. Again, 5 guys on the line. Another play action. Oh, man, he's got so much space again. He's going to be short, though. He completed a pass, but he's short. Using their second timeout. It was a big 3rd down, and they got almost no time. Oh, geez. Valentine just got pretty cooked there. He even grabbed him. He still got cooked. Jeez, he grabbed him and he pulled his arm. I mean, that could have been 2 different penalties. And Justin Jefferson, man, just Justin Jefferson out there. Easy 2 yards here, folks. This is not the best. I mean, the only thing working in our favor is the fact that you'd be tempted to throw here because that's been working a lot better than running, which, of course, works in our favor. But I have to assume they're just, I don't know, whatever. Frickin' we'll see what happens. Yeah, and once again, I'm seeing Bullard over by the side where the guy gets left wide open. So, what are you going to do, folks? Terrible throw. Akers comes up with it. So, well, they made it close a little bit there. I think we got to have a conversation about Mr. Bullard. That's for sure. But, all right, let's just go ahead and wrap this up here. Assume no crazy fumble things happen. Nope, took a knee without a fumble. Attaboy. Attaboy. Well, what did I say, by the way? If we could somehow come firing back and lose by 2 again, it's exactly what happened last time. Well, I'll tell you what, the Packers can be real impressive when they wake up. It's just hard to win when you wake up halfway through the 4th quarter. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's the second time they did that. They did that last time. We were down by, it was like 28-3 by the 4th quarter, and they fired back and lost by 2. It wasn't even that bad this week, but see if we can get some preliminary. So, like I said, Rasheed Walker was the only one. I'm going to hit refresh. There's a chance the grades are just gone now. Nope. Hey, look at that. A lot of guys popped up. And again, this is what I wanted. Show up today. Jordan Love somehow popped up to a 71. That last drive did it. I mean, granted, I guess he didn't throw that many passes, but he did so good in that final quarter. He went from like a 50 to a 71. So it is what it is. Elton Jenkins, likewise, I don't remember what he was at. I think he was in the 60s. He jumped up to a 72. Romeo Dobbs jumped up to a 76. Emmanuel Wilson, 79, and Rasheed Walker, 77. So there you go. Jaden Reed stayed down at the bottom. That's not terrible. I have to see how many of that was drops, but I mean, we've seen that before, and other guys step up. Obviously, Jaden was taken out of the game. Again, very physical, press man style defense. Jaden doesn't handle that well. So what do you got? You got Christian. Well, Christian wasn't in this game. So what do you got? You got Romeo and you got Wicks. Well, Wicks wasn't really playing really well. Came down to Romeo, who wasn't playing very well until that final stretch, and he, it was basically the Jordan and Romeo show. Now, Whether you want to accept this as good or not is up to you. On one hand, I'm happy that Jordan had a 71 and Elton had a 72 and Romeo had a 76 and Wilson had a 76. The problem is all of them played bad for 3 quarters. So I guess you take it. Defensively, let's give her a refresh, see if it's there. Okay. 3 players, Carl Brooks, Edgerrin Cooper, Devontae Wyatt. That's it on defense. Average players, Valentine, McDuffie, Van Ness, Stokes, Zane Anderson, Xavier McKinney. And then you also got, I guess, Kenny Clark, Colby Wooden. Below a 55, Rashawn Gary did go up at the end, but up to a 55 only. He had 3 pressures on 26 attempts. So as far as statistics go, it wasn't terrible. I'm sure that tackle behind the line of scrimmage helped him. And I don't even know if this is all the way upgraded or not, if this is like, maybe there's a couple more plays mixed in. Slayton 49, Keyshawn 48, Wilson 47, Kingsley 46, Brenton Cox 45, Mosby 32, Javon Bullard 32. So that's the story of the game. I mean, I feel better about it because they surged back. And again, and people say garbage time. Okay, say garbage time. What does that have to do with Romeo Doubs beating man coverage and Jordan Love throwing accurate passes? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, that was the difference wasn't Minnesota. The difference was Green Bay. Well, they didn't get pressure. Right, because the ball came out like that. The ball came out instantly, and it was, I don't know. And look, maybe that has to do with Matt LaFleur. Maybe Matt's getting too cute with stuff as opposed to just, trying to get these quick hitters off of man coverage. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I can't imagine Romeo's, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll let the film guys go back and take a little second look at it. I have no intention of watching this game again. By the way, Edgerrin Cooper had an 80.5 grade, 90.6 run defense, but his last 3 games have been 81, 81, 94. We'll see, they're going to revise these grades a little bit, but as of right now, he has an 83 overall grade, 76 run defense, 58 tackling, 90 pass rush, and 74 coverage. I mean, he might be one of, if not our top overall run defense, pass rush, and coverage players on this team right now. I love this guy, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to be excited about stuff today. And by stuff, I mean literally just Edgerrin Cooper. But I'm going to shut her down for today, folks. I got a lot of angry calls to attend to over on Packernet After Dark, so I got to get to that. And so I don't know what to tell you. I probably should tell you to have a good rest of your night, but I doubt that that's going to happen. I think, again, we got to take the 24 hours, be pissed, and then just try to figure out what we're looking at, because that can be the hardest part sometimes. It's like, okay, I mean, we can certainly overreact or underreact. I mean, that's an option that we can do, but really, what are we looking at, right? Okay, team with a lot of talent. They've shown a high level of talent, good record, going to the playoffs, still randomly implode, and seemingly regularly do it against better competition, which is entirely what the playoffs are. So, I guess we just got to parse through that as the week goes on. But you guys have a good rest of your night or day, I guess. I'll talk to you tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a good one. Bye-bye.